Saram, and a happy and hearty welcome to you, Mr. Jan Nigro, to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. We are just coming back after the Christmas morning program from Sai Kulwant Hall. How was it? You are coming to Prasanthi Nilayam after a very, very long time. How did it feel to be part of Christmas morning in Prashanthi?
Well, it's extraordinary. The ashram has expanded into something incredible. Even from 2009 until now, and it being Christmas Day, it is tremendous crowds all here, full of devotion. The programs are beautiful, mixture of foreign devotees and Indian devotional songs, very high quality musicianship, beautiful singing. It's just amazing to be here at Prashanthi on Christmas Day. Wonderful.
And you came here on December 10th or 11th, so you come here for 2 weeks. How did it feel just to connect back to this holy hamlet?
Well, you know, the same spirit is here as the last time I was here, and even the first time in 1977, this holy, powerful, devotional spirit. Outwardly, there's so much going on right now. And to be here again after so long is very powerful. I have memories of many years ago where I sat here, or where I had an interview with Swami, and so on and so forth. It's so powerful being here, and all the people here from all over the world have come for Christmas, united under their devotion for Swami and their feeling of love for each other and for the world. This is like going to another planet, a beautiful planet, and just being in the golden age is just beautiful.
As you mentioned about golden age, I'm tempted to think about all your productions, because all your productions are tuned to take everyone into that golden age.
Well, Swami has musically guided me through a number of things that have expressed his teachings. And so it's, I'm thrilled to be an instrument for Swami as a musician. There's a number of musicians who are also being guided by Swami to bring a higher consciousness through their music. And it's beautiful. I've connected with some of them, and absolutely a delightful people and a delightful thing to be doing.
To be blessed, to be all the time thinking about Swami and his values and expressing that through melodious music is a blessing by itself that Swami has given you.
Absolutely. I've done a lot of different musical projects over the years, and some of them have nothing to do with spiritual things or Swami. They're all very nice, but to be able to use it for spiritual purposes, for Swami's teachings, that's the ultimate, that's the best. So I love being part of that.
And I think as you started Vitamin L, Vitamin Love, to spread love, happiness, joy, empathy, caring, brotherhood, I think every time you did a project, every time you composed something, it did something to you also within, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you can't write and sing songs that are about higher values without feeling them. So, all of these songs that came through, I felt the essence, the meaning of the songs. And then hearing other people sing them and putting them together on a recording, Swami gave me a very good job, a job that I love doing. There's a lot of musicians in the world, and a lot of musicians can't really get work. And I've been able to make music since I was a young man, where I've been able to make a living doing it and to do music that has some higher values to it. It's a fantastic blessing.
A mile in your shoes. I wanna walk a mile in your shoes. I wanna walk a mile in your shoes. I wanna know what you think and what you feel, so I really wanna
Your production, Walk a Mile, is very popular, and it is all about what Swami constantly told us, that for your heart to be called a heart, it should be beating for others.
Yeah.
He said, heart is called Hridaya in Sanskrit
Yeah.
only because the word Hridaya has the word Daya in it, and Daya means compassion.
Oh.
And so many of your productions, your lyrics, your music is all about this value, about feeling for the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did this composition come about, Walk a Mile, and how has it thrilled you, and how do you feel now when you see this message through this music being taken to so many places in so many ways?
Well, I wrote that song a long time ago, in about 1987 maybe, or 88. It's a very simple song. Melody and words are very simple. And it has the very simple message of empathy, being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to know what they think and feel. And that is really about being one. It's about spreading your, not having just your identity be yourself and caring about yourself. It's about spreading that into everyone and caring about everyone and trying to help everyone. So the message is very simple, and the song is very simple. But for some reason, and I didn't know, I didn't expect it, that song of all 52 Vitamin L songs became the most popular when we would perform. And I would tell the audience, our next song is called Walk a Mile. They go, oh, Walk a Mile, big response to it. It's been recorded by a number of people, and it's actually being sung overseas. I just yesterday ran into some women from Perth, Australia, and we were talking, and she said, "Oh yes, we sing Walk a Mile in my my area." So that song has been the most popular one, and that's good. It's an important message. Empathy, being able to feel what other people feel and to help other people.
And there are so many of yours which have really caught on. And one you created during COVID
Yeah.
to offer gratitude to everyone who worked behind the scenes to keep us safe. I think that was a very moving one.
Yes, that we had already stopped performing in front of crowds because of COVID. But that song is about gratitude, because there are jobs that people do that people take for granted, including the teachers and sanitation people. But then during COVID, these people kept, sometimes putting their lives at risk to keep the society going, to keep working, so to help people. So it's a song about appreciating all these different jobs, and it's also a song about not giving up. We had a big problem. We still have it to some extent with COVID, and to keep your life going, to keep struggling on, to keep, in the midst of all these problems, to keep your life and your caring and your love and keeping the society going. So it's a very positive song. It's a very upbeat song. And it applies really not just to COVID, but whenever we have some kind of circumstances that are very difficult, we have to show some courage. We have to keep moving, persevering. It's a song about perseverance, really. So it's got more than one message to it.
And they say the best attitude to have is gratitude.
Yes, that's important. Very
And
important.
Swami also used to always tell us that, you should never, ever forget your parents, all the people in society who have made you
Yeah.
what you have become, because nobody can do anything alone.
Yeah.
And there is also one of your songs which is all about teamwork.
Yeah.
And so very beautifully you say that, it's a very big plus when you and me become us. I think these catchy phrases, these catchy lines, and all your tunes are very simple. They are very melodious, but these are tunes that anyone can sing. A little one in the primary school, in the secondary school, to a 50, 60-year-old can sing. And you don't really have to know music. You don't have to be someone who has learned music to learn your songs and sing. That's something very unique about your compositions.
Teamwork, teamwork. Together we can make our dream work. Then we'll share the joy of what we've done. Teamwork, everyone. It's fun.
Well, I was writing the songs for young people, so, I didn't want to make them too complicated. But the messages in the song are not just for young people, they're really for every age. Songs about compassion and perseverance and so on. And the lyrics are not childish. They're understandable for young people, but they express something that adults can appreciate also. So they cover all ages, they cover all ages. And yeah.
And nothing is as powerful as compassion, because that is what is love in action. And that is the most powerful force on the planet. I think love is the biggest power we have. That is what makes the world go around. And I think that is what still keeps everything going in spite of everything else that we see in the world.
Yeah.
And one song of yours talks about this mighty power of being able to help someone, the mighty power of extending your heart, the mighty power of doing one act of kindness. And I think that's again a very, very powerful message, and so musically and so beautifully conveyed. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, it's Swami is always the inspiration, but it's a simple song about service. The chorus is, and also that a lot of times people look at the problems of the world and they think, what can I do? I'm just one person. So the chorus of the song, if you bring a smile to just one face, that is a mighty power, 'cause you've brought the world to a brighter place. That is a mighty power. If you add a little love to your own little space, you add to the love of the whole human race. And that is a mighty power. That is a mighty power. If you add a little love to your own little space, then you add to the love of the whole human race. If we all do just our part, our little part, you don't have to save the world. You just do that and that's enough. So that's what that song is expressing.
Absolutely. And I think that's what Swami also always told us when he said the proper study of mankind is man. What he meant was, if every person expresses that kindness as man, then mankind will be taken care of. Just like in the human body, if your leg is hurt, your eye cries. That is the connect that the human body is all about. And I think our whole body is all about each cell feeling for the other. And I think that's how Swami would want us to look at the human race, and this song is all about that. It's really beautiful. You said all your songs have been inspired by Swami. Tell us, how did that happen? You said you met Swami in 1977 for the first time. Did he barge into your life?
Did he barge into my life? Well, there's an old saying, I don't know how old it is, he hooks you and then he cooks you. He told me in an interview, he said, "You'll be doing music." Now, at that point, this is a long time ago, I was in my 20s, I wasn't doing it professionally, music. And when he told me, he seemed to be squinting. He was like looking at something in the distance. He said, "You'll be doing music." Well, 9 years later, Vitamin L happened. And I knew that this was all coming from him. And so everything that unfolded after that, the people who were drawn to it, because we had some professional singers who were very established professionally on Broadway and in recording with famous people and so on, were lovely people and were drawn to it. Everybody who came into the project were drawn to the energy that the songs were talking about. And the way that doors seemed to open for us. We won all kinds of big awards and we were written up about in magazines and so on. It felt like Swami's hand just kind of guiding this whole thing. So from the very beginning, it was his project. You know, I was just one little piece of it. I was the songwriter and one of the singers, but you know, he was the director and the creator and everything. I see that more clearly now than I did when I started it, but it's always been his project.
And I think that's how it is with Swami. As you look back and you connect the dots,
Yeah,
you're constantly connecting so many dots.
that's right.
And constantly you're figuring out what he did, what he said, or what he's continuing to do.
Yeah.
And I think a whole lifetime is not enough to decipher what he's done or what he's doing to you.
Exactly, yeah. You look back and you say, well, that, and then this happened, and how, then, yeah, it's like that. I mean, it's like that. You don't know at the time all the time. Then you see later.
But that was the first interview when Swami told you that you're going to be doing music?
That was the first time that he told me, and then this unfolded over these many years.
So that happened at Puttaparthi?
Let me think now. I think it was at Whitefield. It was the day before our wedding. On our first trip in 1977, my wife and I, we had been together for several years, but we had never had a ceremony, or legal or any kind of ceremony. We'd just been together. And then on our first trip in 77, she asked Swami, would you marry us? And at first he said, ceremony not necessary. To be one is what's important. And then a little later on in that trip, she asked him again, Swami, would you marry us? And he said, next time you come, I'll marry you. So he said it, and next time we came, a year later, she reminded him, Swami, you said you would marry us. He said, yes, I'll marry you tomorrow morning. And he did. He married us in Whitefield.
In the interview room?
Yeah, it was not the big room. And there weren't many people in it, and not traditional Indian ceremony. But he talked about marriage, and he gave my wife a beautiful sari. And I spoke about this in the talk. He at one point he said to me, where are the rings? And I said, I didn't bring any. I could hardly talk, you know. I mean, I was so overwhelmed being that this was happening. I said, I didn't bring any rings. He said, where are the rings? And then he materialized both rings, and you heard a little clink, and there they were, and he put the rings on us. And somebody took photos, which I really appreciate, because I hadn't even thought about that. And we have some beautiful photos of the wedding. And so it was, I've been married since, wow, it's a long time now, over 45 years.
Wow.
And a great marriage. It was a perfect match that Swami married us. Beautiful, beautiful partner for me all these years.
Was it she who brought you to Swami?
No, we actually heard about Swami in 1976 from a spiritual teacher in New York. named Hilda Charlton. I think a number of people heard about Swami through her. She had been with Swami very early on for a long time. And she told us about him in 76, showed us some vibhuti, we read Men of Miracles, and then a year later we came over. And also, I think Holy Man and Psychiatrist, although I'm not sure if that was written at that point or not. I think it was. But yeah, those two books were sort of the first two that we read. And we felt something that made us come over. And yeah, boy, Prashanthi was very different then. You were on the sand, and there was no roof, and you heard the crows, but total silence other than that. And I talked about my first darshan in the talk the other night, how Swami, when he came out, he stopped in front of me, and he looked down and asked me a question in some language that I didn't know, and I couldn't answer him. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "He's asking you where you're from." And I turned to answer, and he had walked away. So that was the first of a number of jokes that he played on me throughout the years. Some incredible Leelas, even while I was back in New York where I lived, some things that happened that were extraordinary and divine. I mean, it's not typical human experiences. They're divine experiences. And I'm just one person. There's so many stories you hear of people that Swami has given extraordinary experiences to. So that's the divinity.
After that, you continue to feel him more and more back in the US also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There were so many things that happened where he would guide me, or it would be a dream, or even sometimes visions that happened. Warnings. Sometimes it's hard to describe. Some of them are not really dreams, but they're not, it's hard to put a word on them. They're not typical dreams, where there would be a very clear warning about something, or something that I needed to know. And I'd come out of it, and I'd know exactly what he was telling me. That's happened a number of times. So yeah, he makes his presence known. I mean, you have a connection to him, but every now and then something very dramatic happens where he needs to tell you something, show you something. And it could be a dream, and it could be, as I said, sometimes visions, all different ways that he communicates with you.
So what were some of these moments when you so palpably felt his presence, when you know that this is Swami? Otherwise, nothing of this could have happened.
Wow. Well, I remember one thing. Swami had told me early in an interview, one of the first interviews, I had been not feeling well physically, and I'd been depressed, and I would try this program and that doctor and this medicine, and nothing was helping. And he said, no more doctors, no more medicines. I will be your doctor. I will give you my medicine. So he said that. And so then when I was back in the US, I still wasn't feeling well. And so I kept going here and trying this and doing that. And one day I'm sitting in my room in New York, and right in front of me, I had a vision where it's an elephant, and he has two snakes wrapped around him, and they're biting him. And my feeling was of tremendous concern for the elephant. And what it was Ganesha, who gets rid of the obstacles, and the snakes are the medical profession. The symbol of the medical profession is two snakes. So they were the medical profession that were getting rid of the spiritual treatment that would take care of all of the obstacles. And so the experience was very clear to me what he was telling me. I mean, it was as clear as you are right now, right in front of me. And it lasted maybe a few seconds, and I knew exactly what he was saying. You've got to go with Ganesha. You've got to go with the spiritual healing, not the snakes. So it was an extraordinary experience. I never had anything happen like that. And it was very clear guidance that this was a message from Swami. And so even after that, it was very hard for me when I wasn't feeling well to just surrender and let it go and accept that this was, I didn't have the understanding then. This is karma that has to be worked out, and just let Swami take care of it. I still kind of occasionally, took some medicine or something, but eventually I realized what surrender really means. And I stopped taking any medications or doctors or anything.
It's like he's been there with you every moment, and he's been guarding you, he's been guiding you, he's been protecting you, and all these messages are so subtle and at the same time so significant.
Yeah.
I think they have changed your directions in life, they have changed your perspectives to life, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I had another very unusual experience happen. One of the things that I do musically, I've had a chorus called Mostly Motown. We sing music, it's popular songs from back in the 60s and 70s, romantic songs, nothing wrong with that, very nice songs. And so my job is, I have a chorus of people, 16, 17 people. The original songs were recorded by one individual or maybe a small group, 2 or 3 people. So I have to take those songs and make them work for a big chorus. I do what's called an arrangement, where I create parts of the songs that this section can sing in this section. And it's called doing an arrangement. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm working on a song called I'll Be There. There's a part of the song where it goes, I'll be there to love and comfort you. I'll be there to cherish and care for you. I'll be there to always see you through. I'll be there to love and comfort you. Just as I'm working on that part of the song, and I'm sitting there at my piano, I feel 2 hands take my head, lift me up, so now I'm standing, and face me right in front of a photo of Swami that's on a ledge that I keep above my piano. So right at those words, I'll be there to love and comfort you, to cherish and care for you, to always see you through, to love and comfort you. 2 hands lift me up and put me in front of the photo of Swami. So that was an extraordinary experience. And how did he know I was working right at that point in the songs? How did he take hold of my head, and lift me up? Those words, which were written about from a romantic point of view originally, from a man to a woman, also are perfect for a guru to a devotee, to love and comfort you. I'll always be there to cherish and care for you. So that was also an extraordinary experience for me. And these Leelas are very powerful. They show you the divinity, the omnipresence, the omnipotence. They're very beautiful, and they deepen your faith that Swami really is all of those things. So that was extraordinary for me.
So subtly, covertly, overtly, he's been divinizing your life. He's been constantly sublimating all your emotions, and he's been ensuring that all your talent, all your gifts are spent in the service of humanity, in the service of divinity.
Yes, I don't want to make it sound like I'm too perfect, because I'm far from perfect. I'm still struggling. He's given me experiences where there are times where I can feel all of what you're talking about. I feel like connected to God. I feel like I don't even exist. There is no Jan Nigro. And then there are other times, and probably more of the time, where I am Jan Nigro, and I'm a musician. I live in the U.S. and I have a wife, and it's all of this, all the stories that go with being a person. But to feel where you don't exist, where you're just swallowed up by God, is the most beautiful feeling, and I want more of that. And that's the struggle, is to get there and stay there. And that's, every day, that's what I'm struggling to do. And I still fail all the time, but I'm trying my best.
I think those are moments of Advaitic oneness, as we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Where I and my Father are one. I and my Father and the whole universe is one.
Yeah.
And I think that is the highest experience of any spiritual seeker. And Swami gives us glimpses of that.
That's it.
So that we long for it, we strive for it.
Right.
And we are constantly guided towards that ultimate experience. I think that is what is Prashanthi, where you don't exist.
Yeah.
And you're just part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
That is what is oneness all about. And I think that is what Swami meant and told us when he gave us these three words: unity, purity, divinity. I think that's once our being becomes pure, and we see everything as one, and that is what is divine.
That's it.
And I think you are experiencing that through music, and I think that's the smartest way and the most easiest way. That's why the most interesting, the most enjoyable way of experiencing that spiritual high.
Yeah. And just those little tastes of that feeling of total unity, of not, all your problems disappear, anything, no mental activity. It's just you're part of this love, you're part of the universe. Those moments are so powerful that you have to keep working toward that. And he knows just when to give those moments. That's also mind-boggling, that he knows just, this is the divinity. He knows just when to give exactly the right thing to every person. It's hard to even grasp that. It's divinity. It's so vast that the intelligence involved in that is so far above human intelligence.
That is not AI, that is SAI.
That's right. SAI, very good. Yeah.
Because he knows the journey of every soul over so many births and so many generations. And he knows exactly what needs to be done for this soul at this moment, so that the soul can now rise a little higher. Yeah. And I think that is what is all of us journey. There's a journey of all of us, and I think as the super soul, he takes care. I think all we have to do is just say that, Lord, we are here. Please take us. Please guide us, and we are in your hands. Wow.
It's just he's just asking a sincere effort.
Absolutely.
And then he'll do the rest. We have to make an effort. And if we know something we're doing is not good, that's part of the effort. We have to stop doing it. And if we know something is good that we should do more of, that's part of the effort. And there's sacrifice involved. Sometimes the small ego part of us really likes doing something that the higher part of us knows is not. And it can be hard to give up. These habits that we have, sometimes are very powerful, the attachments, the desires. But I had one experience. From a very early age, I was practically obsessed with basketball. I enjoyed playing it when I was younger, but then I also followed it. I followed the professional basketball. I knew all the players on every team, how tall they were, how many points they scored. I watched every game on TV. I bought the magazines, college basketball too. I mean, I was like a lot of fans in America. They're obsessed with these things. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying a sport, but I think it can be, for spiritual devotee, it can be carried too far. So, and this was only about 10 or 12 years ago, I realized this is probably not great for me to keep being like this. So I decided to stop, cut it off. No more basketball. I'm not going to think about it, not going to watch it, nothing. And as soon as I made that decision, Swami, who's always there, although it's hard for us to imagine that this is always there, as soon as I made the decision, he lifted me up into a higher plane of experience, of such power and such energy and such beauty and love, not my usual. As soon as I decided to do that, he brought me up there, and it was telling me, that's very good that you gave it up. That's how I experienced it. It was like patting me on the back and saying, very good, you gave up a very strong attachment. So for a few days, I was just up in this other world. And then it came back down. But it was him telling me, it's good when you can give up these powerful attachments and just let go, not have these desires. It was an important lesson for me. And again, an example of his divinity and the fact that he is always with me and knows what I'm doing.
I think many times we are so reluctant to let go. We are afraid to let go. We are hesitant to let go. We fear of letting go. But I think once you take that leap of faith, what gets present to you, what opens up in front of you is something that probably we would have never imagined.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the journey he makes us do.
Yeah. I mean, he'll help you, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
Some devotee was saying to him, Swami, you've got to do this for me, you've got to make me, and he said, I'm not going to do that. He said, you have to do that.
Correct.
So he's not going to make it always so easy for us, but anything that easy, what is it worth,
Exactly.
When we can really struggle and overcome these things, he's there to help, but only up to a point. We have to do it.
I think he's been very kind. He's always very kind. He says, you take one step and I'll take 99 steps.
Yeah.
That's how kind he is.
Yeah.
As you're saying, but that one step we have to take sincerely. And I think he's there to lift you. And open up worlds you would have never, ever discovered. And I think that is the world of lasting peace, lasting bliss. We get all the time carried away by something that is very ephemeral most of the time, and we keep hopping from one little happiness to the other, one little joy to the other. But he wants to give us something which is way beyond what the world can offer. And I think for that a little effort, you have to reach the escape velocity, as they say, for the satellite, the rockets to leave the Earth's gravitational pull. Once they reach the escape velocity, then they are free.
Very good analogy.
I think, so he pushes us so that, we reach that point where we say, okay, no more football, no more basketball, no more sweets, whatever, And then once we reach there, then he's there to, make us free.
Yeah.
And then the whole universe then opens up. We are just so limited by Earth when you think about it.
Yeah.
Then, the whole Milky Way is also nothing. Milky Way is just, again, a dot in the universe.
Yeah.
I think that's what he can do and he wants to do. We have to put that little effort. And I think coming to Prashanthi helps, isn't it? Coming to Prashanthi, connecting with him, being here, recharging ourselves and going back to our roots in a manner of sorts about how the journey started. All that helps in strengthening our resolve and adding energy to our goal and our effort, isn't it?
Yeah. The vibrations here in Prashanthi are so high. Now, when we go back to where we live, it's not going to be like that. But we take some of it. And we also have to make our lives, we have to be careful. Where we live, the different influences, different people, different activities. We have to live like we would live here. So it takes some care, to make sure that we can live like we're in an ashram. To be in the world but not of it is really, that old saying really applies. But coming here is really plugging into the main source of beautiful energy. And people here are just so beautiful, the kindness that people show to each other. The order, everything is orderly. I see the young men, the students, they have jobs that they do and they're very disciplined. It's a beautiful, the ashram is a very beautiful place, and the world is not always like that.
But the ashram gives you the strength to go back to the world,
Yeah.
but try to take the Prashanthi with you,
Yeah.
and create your own Prashanthi wherever you are.
Yes, yes.
and try to live in that aura of energy and in that field of vibration. And I
Yeah.
think that's the challenge. But
That's the challenge. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's also a very, very fulfilling spiritual adventure. I think that's what Swami does to all of us, isn't it? We start off coming to him as a musician or a businessman, but he ends up converting all of us. Ultimately, he ensures that everyone turns to be a spiritual being, and knowing that they are a spiritual being, and start making that effort to live like a spiritual being.
Yeah.
Now as I hear you, I don't feel I'm talking to a musician. Now I feel I'm talking to someone who is very serious about spirituality and who longs for spiritual experiences, and who is all about love for the spirit, love of the spirit, and living in the spirit. That's what you are about now. But you started off as a musician.
Yeah, right. That's right. Well, after a while, you realize what else is there? He makes it very clear that there's a real purpose of life. And it's not just to, just to have fun or to, be with your friends and so on. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a very serious and important purpose to life. And that's the struggle. That's where the sadhana comes in, and that's where his help comes in, and so on. Otherwise, we can just waste our lives not making progress. So it's extraordinary. People who don't know about any of this, it seems crazy. What are these people talking about? It all seems crazy. People are going to see this who know me for many years but don't know anything about this part of me, who will think, he's crazy. But what we know is it's a good kind of crazy. It's the best kind of crazy. And what else are you going to do with your life? Once he gives you that clear vision of what life is about, you just have to follow.
I think if you look at our history, all the normal people always felt that these holy men, they're crazy. Mm-hmm. And when you look at from the point of view of the holy men, they are thinking these people are crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think, that's how Swami also transforms us. He changes our perspective.
Yeah.
And slowly we leave this craziness for the world and we become crazy for God.
Yeah.
And I think once we reach there, and Swami says that is the best form of madness that you can have, to be God mad. And I think there is nothing more thrilling than that.
Nothing more thrilling.
And that's the journey he puts all of us into.
Yeah.
And I think being in Swami's aura, coming to Prashanthi, helps us to become that mad again.
Yeah.
And if we are already mad, become more mad.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing more exciting than
Yeah.
this, isn't it?
Yeah. It's true. I mean, the intoxication, the spiritual intoxication, God intoxication, is a lot better than drugs, and But people who take drugs and drink and don't know about this, to them, that's the best. But we know better.
So we just have to follow the master, as Swami says,
Yeah.
face the devil, fight to the end, and finish the game.
That's it.
And I think that's why the master is here. And they say the best way to value the master is to master his values.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
And you've been doing that.
Oh,
You've been trying to, in your own way, master his values and disseminate his values and ensure that his values reach many hearts and homes. And it's a very, very noble and ennobling work that you've been doing. And really, Swami said you don't need medicine. But you started vitamin L because you know that the only medicine that the world needs is love.
I never thought of that, but that's it. He'll use imperfect people. Who's perfect in this world? Really, very few people. But he will use you in a way that is holy and beautiful. And a lot of people who are struggling and being cooked and going through all kinds of difficulties can be used if they're devotees. So that's what I feel he's done with me. He's used me despite my shortcomings. But I am trying. I am sincerely trying. So I guess that's enough for now.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I think whatever you have shared today has been absolutely enlightening because, it was not just about music. It was all about the spirit. And I think ultimately that is what life is all about. Swami says spirituality is love for the spirit. And I think that's what is spirituality. And no better place to feel that than Prasanthi Nilayam. And he has given us this heaven, and he has given us this opportunity to feel him, and you have the chance to share his love. I think there cannot be anything greater. Thank you so much for coming to the studios and sharing your heart, your music, and your journey with us.
Thank you, Bishu. I enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Saram.